This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with that prize guy. I'm delighted to be joined on Zoom once again with Senan Kelly. How are you, mate?
I'm all good, Marty. How are you, bud?
I am fantastic. I'm sure you're probably still sort of in a pinch me sort of moment, probably saying it fair to say, like 5th of September, co-main event, the three arena from Mick Conlan card. Like if you'd have said that to you a couple of years ago, you'd have probably broke someone's arm to take even a sniff of that opportunity.
Literally, man. Gone from the devenish to the tree rain. It's been some journey.
Like you've probably known about obviously, I guess, a few weeks. Obviously, the negotiation things like that was coming. Like during that period when it's in discussions, it's not sort of agreed. We're losing you there. Your phone's going
Oh.
for a walk. Um, we, I guess in this boxing game, sometimes until you get in the ring, you sometimes can't get too excited. Sure, you can't with it. So it's like even when the negotiation stuff were going, like you see when Peter Carr was close to fighting on a matchroom card in Belfast, you're sort of going, this is too good of an opportunity. It's sort of like, what have I done? You'd probably nearly think to yourself, what have I done to deserve this opportunity?
But that's the thing, man. Like when this was being talked about in my head, I was like, "This is too good to be true. This is never gonna happen for me." But Jay Byrne does what Jay Byrne does best, and yeah, just worked his magic and got it going for me. So hats off to him.
Like I don't like the big J up. Me and you know that obviously the banter we have on a daily basis, but I don't sometimes like to big him up. But like joining J and JB Promotions has been the best probably decision you've done like the last 20 months.
Oh,
Headline three cards
absolutely.
in Dublin, Celtic champion, Irish champion, and now you're on that next step. You're away from the domestic scene now. You're on that next step, fighting another guy that's unbeaten, and another step towards your ultimate dream of becoming a world champion.
Well, that's the thing. Like I got into this sport. So I started boxing when I was 8 years old. I'm 29 now, and it's just been an absolute road of up and down all the way through. And when I finally did get to meet up with Jay back in the Colosseum, we were actually just sparring partners. I'd be talking about like what he's going to do in the future with JB promotions and all. And now it's hard to visualize what he was talking about. And then I went and signed with him, and he was making me all these promises. And yeah, it was kind of like, I wonder if this is actually going to happen. And every promise he's made he's pulled through with them, like every single one of them. And even now, he's never even promised me the tree arena, but out of nowhere, he brought this one forward, and like that, I didn't even believe it was actually going to happen. And yeah, it's happening. And co-main event on Michael Conlan's card, like one of the greatest Irish boxers. So you can't ask for any more than that, really. Like,
It's like we know the sort of, I don't want to sort of delve back too far, but when you sort of made your debut in the Devenish, you then obviously had the shoulder injury. You then were sort of coming back into the sport. And like when we've spoke recently, it's sort of like, I want to start making something out of the sport because the costs and stuff you had, I remember you telling me about the cost you had for your shoulder injury and stuff like that. And you needed to get paid in the sport. Like this is the first step towards that for you now.
well, that's the thing. Like I've went on ticket sale contracts right the way through my career. Never really made good money. Like made decent money. Not don't get me wrong. Like I wasn't fighting for free, but this is a big one. I've recently just bought a house, so I've real bills coming out now. This is going to bring me to the next stage, or hopefully I'll be able to build a granny flat up me back. And, without Jay backing me all this way, none of this would have happened for me. So he's put me in a position now where I can move on to the next stage of my life.
The dog's just having a lick at you. I'm sure people watching this laughing. Obviously, the dog's licking your shoulder. It's one of your biggest supporters, along with your missus. But the dog's sitting there proud as punch.
Yeah, man, that's me baby there, that is.
It'll be part of the ring walk on 5th of September.
Do you know what? I'd love to, but I wouldn't put her out in the ring with me now. Just she fucking shit herself on the big stage. But I'd love to, but I just couldn't.
It'd be class. When it'd be nearly going back to the Steve. Remember Steve Collins when he
With
fought?
the motorbike. Yeah.
No, but when Steve Collins had done the press conference and he brought an Irish Wolfhound and all to the press conference.
Can you do that? Ah,
I think
man,
back
like this could be a little league now. I might bring my dog up to the tree arena with me for the presser.
I think he bought like an old Jag. He bought an Irish Wolfhound and stuff like that. He was going, I guess, was the ninth, was 95 or something. So you're talking 30 years ago. You could probably get away with a lot more then than you can now.
Smoking inside and all.
Like what Ben Marksby, he's unbeaten. I think his last two fights, his two stoppages. Like, do you sort of just look at it and go, just another name. Like when you fought people like Dago, you fought Matthew. Obviously, it's going to be a big star in the future. Obviously, winning your first ball against Jake Tinklin. Like, do you just look at these as names now? And you just go, it's just another one for me to get through.
Man, I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any odds I'm fighting really. Like, once the money's right, like once the money's right, and I believe I can win. I believe it's the right step in the right path. Like, I'm gonna take the fight, you know. And this is just another name, another step on the journey. So I think Ben, he probably would be the best one so far. Hats off to him for taking the fight, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that was our man and JB and all my team after getting me here. So I'm absolutely buzzing with it. Yeah, it's great. It's all great.
Byproduct, I guess, of this as well is, on a massive platform, on Channel 5, it's going to be streamed. Obviously, I'm not, is Channel 5 available in the South?
I don't actually know. I
I'm
don't
not
really watch
sure.
much telly. More of
But
a Fortnite man.
But I know that Mick's last fight in Brighton in March, I think it was 2.5 million people tuned in to watch the fight. So not only is it giving different eyeballs and watching you, the potential's there for big sponsors to come involved because they know that you're going to be on TV. Your big slot on TV probably could be streamed in other countries all around the world. So it's massive, massive exposure for you, and hopefully someone sees this and goes, "Senan, what do you need? Write your own check for this fight."
That'd be a dream come true, Marty. So, do you know what? Like, I could be going focusing on the money, and I could be going focusing on potential new sponsors coming on board. I just want to focus on my fight. I'm not focusing on ticket sales. I'm not focusing on who's after this. I'm not focusing on anything. I'm just training like an absolute lunatic, and I'm going in there and I'm going to win this fight. That's all I'm focusing on now. And if I can sit down with sponsors after I win the fight, then yeah, all well and good. But I'm not focusing on any of that stuff right now.
The what's changed for you, Sen? And like obviously, is there something changed knowing that you're getting these opportunities now? Where we spoke about obviously the link up with Jay. Is it everything after the shoulder injury you're going? Everything's getting given 150%. Not turning down any opportunities. What's changed for you as a fighter? In these last probably 2 years.
I don't think really much has changed. Like, I think I've developed more now as a pro. Before, I felt my body was only actually able to do 2 sessions a day. I feel like I'm able to do 3 sessions a day. I feel in terms of recovery, I'm better at that. I'm better at getting the calories in. I'm better at tracking my food. I'm better at doing, like, we're at the next stage of strength and conditioning. We're at the next stage of everything. So in terms of my development, everything's improved. And yeah, really, like, I don't think much has really changed other than the sessions have got harder and my body's able to do it now. Because, like, we tried to do a few things before and it was just, I could feel like little niggles and little injuries coming on from doing that. Where now we're doing that stuff and like it's getting easier, and things are getting easier and I'm getting stronger and I can see the numbers increase and I can feel myself getting fitter, stronger. I can do more rounds, like know how to handle my shoulder now, like what we were doing for a long time was managing the rounds of sparring. So like Joe, say week 1 was like 4 rounds, week 2, 6 rounds, and then I felt like my shoulder would be getting sore, but I just push on and do it anyway, and then it would actually get fucking injured. Where now it's like I can feel it starting the red line and I pull back and I wouldn't do the rounds. I never used to do that before. So I think I've just gotten a little bit smarter overall.
I think it's probably just the maturing probably more as a fighter. Like I guess you're building off the confidence of the title fight you've had. You've headlined 3 cards. Like probably just feels like a walk in the park in some ways now. It's just like it's another day at the sport that you love.
Well, that's it. Yeah, like this is my job. So I take it very seriously. And people look at this like, big fight in the tree arena. Just get into a boxing ring and have a boxing match. It's the same as any other fucking day. So yeah, I don't know, man. This is all just normal enough, really. It doesn't really phase me too much, and I don't think it should phase me too much. I think if it did phase me, I'd be in trouble. Where I just see this as any other day, any other fight, and just get in there and do a job.
Have you dreamt of these moments of fighting in the 3 arena? Like I guess just being on a card in the 3 arena you probably thought of, but like to be co-main event in the 3 arena as well. Like you know that's probably another dream ticked off on your bucket list to go. I thought, in the 3 arena, I'm going to be fighting the 3 arena in Dublin. Like, are you still pinching yourself to go, where's
You
this
know what
come
it
from?
was, man? I remember like when I seen the likes of like Pierce O'Leary. I don't think it was Pierce O'Leary. It was like Gareth Dowling, Thomas Carty, Kiefer Crosby. Like all of these lads, I can't remember if Pierce actually fought in the three arena
No, it
now, but
hasn't
like
yet.
Gary Cully as well, like all these lads fighting up there, and it was always just like, why am I not getting these opportunities? How do I get up there? And now it is. Now it's happening. Now I'm starting to get my opportunity, and I'm going to take it with both hands. And this won't be the end. This is just the start of the journey. It's going to bring me on to the next stage of my career. And we're going to keep pushing on after this because, like that, you give me an inch, I'm going to take a mile. So I'm ready.
It's one of them, isn't it? They say sometimes like a supporters in the crowd will add 10%. Like you getting an opportunity like this is going to, this is going to improve you massively. Like, you're probably going to sell more tickets than you've done before because the Mick Conlan sort of effects there. People more is going to want to go to it. More people will hopefully be looking at it and going, let's buy our tickets from Senan because we're getting them at face value. But a bit of it's coming back to you as well, and the cutting commission and stuff as well. So you could potentially make as much money for fighting as you could potentially for selling tickets as well.
Yeah, well, like that, I'm not focusing on any of that. Like my girlfriend, she's helped me with all the tickets. My family, they're showing me a lot of support in terms of looking after all the tickets for me. Jay's giving me a big hand of tickets because I am getting a lot of people looking for them. So I will do really well on tickets, but like that, I don't want to focus on the money. I don't want to focus on it. The money will come. Get in there and do a job on this lad. And then we'll look at money after that. We'll look at new sponsorship deals or look at everything else in between. But fuck all that shit, man. Get in there, knock this fella out, move on to the next stage, and we'll look at bigger purses in the future. We'll look at different sponsorship deals in the future, but don't focus on that now. You need to focus on getting in there, doing the job, and that's all. That's all I'm really thinking about, you know.
Is that the statement you want to make? You want to stop Ben Marksby? Like you want to make a statement and go, everybody leaving the three arena to go, wasn't Senan Kelly fantastic?
Well, that's it. It's not just the Ben Marksby fight. I look to knock out all my opponents. That's the way you should do it. And if I don't knock them out, at least I'm going to win the fight that way because I'm going to give it me all. I'll look for a stoppage. If I get the stoppage, all well and good. If I don't, I'm going to come out. I'm going to win the fight. So, like, you know yourself, man. The knockout's great. If it happens, I'm only really worried about a win. But yeah, I'd love to get in there and really get a nice stoppage and little highlight reel, you know?
It's sometimes, isn't it, that sort of conundrum? Sometimes it's like if you go focusing too much on the stoppage, you probably might make yourself look bad in the fight.
Well,
Whereas
that's it. Yeah.
if
If the
you just
stoppage happens, it happens. But like, you don't look for it. Like, if it happens, it happens. You know.
if you look for it too much, then you look terrible. Whereas if you don't look for it, you might look $1 million, but not at the stoppage. You'd rather that than look bad in one. You'd rather box his head off for 10 rounds and make it look like there's levels to this boxing game.
You do what Sean McCollum done to Arnold Barbosa, except
Well,
you get the win.
other,
Yeah,
other
except
than
you
the
don't get
judges'
robbed.
scorecards. But like you can look at things like that, can't you? Like you can look at Sean McComb's performance and obviously getting robbed. Like that probably sometimes spurs you on. They go, you can't leave anything to chance with judges.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you really do need to put it all in. But I'm not worried about getting robbed. None. Just where you get in there, do what I do best, and you'll see. Like I'll get the win. So that's all I'm focused on.
It's a 10 round fight as well. Like, is there going to be a title on the line? Or are they still sort of looking into that? Like, I'm sure you'd like
I'm
it.
hoping they get a title on the line. There hasn't been any real talk of it yet, but who knows? It's a 10 rounder, so we're about eligible for belts. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got one on the line, you know?
To get one of them European trinkets like the WBO or IBF or something like that, and like you could be world ranked then.
Just something to go on the mantelpiece, you know?
As I said, the belts mean nothing sort of until you get to the belt you really want. Obviously
Well,
the
that's
ones.
it, man. I want a world title. I'm not really focused on all these other belts, and I'll get one a few years down the line. I know I'm not at that stage. I'm not at that stage yet. I'm still building a nice belt. Yeah, it'd be great, but I'm more focusing on the money, really, you know?
Is this going to be a harder camp for you? Like you're back to 140 again. Obviously, you've had the luxury the last couple have been at 147 and sort of camp been a bit easier. Like you're back into a proper sort of camp and the fact that you have to make 140 again.
Well, like, I kind of like the fact that I'm fighting on 140 again because it just makes you a bit more strict with food and everything else. Like when I was fighting on 147, I was just eating as much as I can all the time, and like there wasn't really too much discipline involved because I was able to just keep eating and eating and eating. Where now I'm eating a lot, like I'm eating over 3,000 calories a day, and that's me just fucking. I'm still losing a bit of weight doing that, you know. So I don't know. Yeah, I suppose it is a bit more discipline involved, but at the same time. Like, I don't know, just they're all the same really to me. It doesn't really matter too much.
Have you started the visualize the picture like walking out? Like you've been there for fights and stuff before and sort of seen it from the other spectrum. Like, are you sort of, you going to bed at night and waking up in the morning and you visualized it and and everything else? You starting to picture that process yet?
Not really, no. I was talking to Packy Collins about that yesterday, and he was talking about like sports psychologists and the kind of like hypnotism and all. So I'll have a look at all that stuff, but I haven't really ventured too much into that side of the sport yet. But I am coming on to the next stage of my career, so all them little 1 and 2%, they all matter. So I probably will start doing a lot more of that because I remember in my previous fights, I was doing a bit of meditation every now and then and getting into yoga and stuff. But as I got closer to the fight, that all just went out the window, and I was just kind of focusing more on the fight. But yeah, like I'm 7 weeks out now, 7 weeks out tomorrow, so probably will be doing a bit of visualization. I'll take a bit of Packy Collins, what he said on board in terms of this sports psychology and all, and yeah, I'll bring it all into my game and get all them extra percentage.
It's the bigger ring walks as well, isn't it? Like it's sort of like it's sort of one of them ones do you do where some people run to the ring so they can get there as quick as possible, or do you try and soak it all in? Like you're probably going to be walking 3 times as much than you would from like the warehouse and the stadium and things like that. You'll be walking for ages. You're going to go and have I taken a wrong turn somewhere because I've been walking for like a minute to get to the ring?
Yeah, it's, do you know what? That's something that I haven't really thought too much about yet. But yeah, it's going to be a big difference. It'd be a bit of a shock, I'd say, on the night. But at the same time, a boxing ring's a boxing ring. Me, another man, a referee, four corners, a few ropes. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. So big ring walk, small ring walk. We're going to fight. It's not about any of that stuff, you know?
I guess sometimes as a fighter, like I guess me as a fan and sort of doing interviews and stuff like that, I think of the other things, but your job is just you're a fighter. You're paid to fight, you're paid to perform. All the other stuff like, that's irrelevant to you because that's nothing to do with your job description in a way.
Yeah, in one more at the in one.
Um, Obviously away from yourself, did you catch Katie Taylor's fight of the weekend? Like I'll be a big inspiration that Katie Taylor at 39 probably looked the best. I'd probably say she's done in quite a few years. Like, can you get inspiration still from Katie at this stage?
You can always get inspiration from Kate. It'd be hard not to. Really, like, that was probably the best I've ever seen her. Maybe Pete was back in the corner giving her a few hints and tips and throughout the camp because I've heard that a few times now and you could see it. So yeah, I think she boxed out of her skin and she's an inspiration to all of us.
Definitely. Like I was, I guess everybody was sort of fearing getting into this, but going so
I
much.
was, yeah, I was in one.
There's so much talk of the previous fights. I think a fully 100% MVP card, and you're going, they've bought judges off here. But like when you're hearing the scorecards, particularly first scorecard you're hearing is a draw, and you're going, here we go. And then it's
Yeah.
7-3, and I'm still going, it has to be Katie, but you wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Serrano the other way just to complete the robber.
Yeah, and you know yourself, boxing can be a corrupt sport at the best of times, so you wouldn't be surprised if it did happen.
Away from, I guess, that other thing, obviously with JB Promotions, obviously, with this card, it's not going to be a Jay's show, but for you, as part of the stable, he's signed a deal with Triller. They're obviously going to be sharing other cards in the future as well. So, like, potentially wise, it could end up you win this fight, Wasserman might sign you. I know you're not going to look at them parts, but obviously for JB Promotions, huge that they're coming on so much that they've a worldwide audience now in Thriller as well.
Yeah, it's nice having doors, isn't it? I've never really had options before. It was always just this is your fight and this and that, where doors are starting to open. But at the end of the day, Jay's my manager. I know he's my promoter as well, but first and foremost, he's my manager and he had always advised me in the right decision. So I fully trust him and he's going to keep pointing me in the right direction every time. So that's all I can ask for.
It's great for you using the south because obviously we know for a few years there was no fighting. Like you obviously had to make your debut in Belfast and things like that because there was no fight cards in Dublin. Like for Jay and for you fighters, like it's brilliant that you can fight in your doorstep now. You fought in Dublin quite a few times now and getting to fight in the three arena. So like Jay, there we go. I'm giving him praise here again. Jay's sort of leading the charge of bringing big time boxing back to Dublin.
Yeah, well, like remember back when I was an amateur, I never used to shut up about going pro, and every single time, every coach would always say to me, "You're not gonna go pro. There's no boxing in the south. Da da da. You're never gonna make it if you go as a pro. Da da da." They could have been right if it wasn't for Jay, So I'll give them that.
You're telling all them ones now. Look at me now. I'm cool headlining in the three arena.
Uh, I don't have to tell them. Don't have to say anything. I just do my thing and get on with it.
Um, Talk to me obviously on how you see the fight going. Like, what do you know of Ben Marksby? Do you just leave that down to the coaches? Like, what can we expect out of you on the 5th of September?
Well, it looks like he's going to be a very good boxer. So I don't know. Just get in there and fight, I suppose. Like what is he? 6-time national champion in the amateurs, and I don't really know much about the fellow. I really don't. Like I think like from what I've seen online, he's a very good boxer. So just get in there and stick to my game plan. I don't want to give too much away and what I want to do, but yeah, just stick to the game plan and win the fight.
I guess for you in some ways this experience you've had with Dago and Matthew Tyndall and Jack Tinklin, like these big fights, they've built that backbone sort of in you in some ways where Ben Marksby may not have had that. So you've that experience as a pro over him already.
Yeah, I've had a few good domestic dust ups. Won the Irish title. Actually went up a weight class. Won the Irish title. Had that fucking defense there with Deco. Like had food poisoning on fight week all the way through. Puking me ring up right up until Thursday on antibiotics and all. Didn't have to do a weight cut because I was getting sick so much. Still got in there and done what I done on the Saturday. So like I've built my way up in this sport through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I've done ticket sales the whole way through. I've fucking earned where I've gotten to through hard work, discipline, and there's been no handouts. It's been just hard work the whole way, all the way up, and I think that's going to show on the night.
Do you feel proud of what you've done? I know sometimes it's an obvious question to say, but do you feel complete sort of in what you've done the last couple of years?
Ah,
No.
absolutely not, man. You feel complete, and that's when you start getting complacent, and you're happy where you've gotten. If I was to hang up my gloves today, I'd be absolutely ashamed of myself because I've so much more to give. I don't feel like I'm anywhere near my best. Like I'm still developing as a professional fighter, and I'm still going to keep developing. I know there's so much levels to get this, so I just need to keep building. I need the right person guide me in the right way. I need the right team around me to help me develop, and look, just keep aiming for the stars.
And if, what is it? Is it not to say the aim for the moon? If you can't hit the moon, at least you've hit the stars. Is that the saying?
I was trying to think of that more. I couldn't think what it was.
I'm trying to think of these one-liners Cathal Jennings gives me, and I'm not sure if I've said it the right way or the wrong way. I know when he tells me his one-liners, he tells me the wrong way. So maybe my one-liner's wrong, but we get the gist of it now.
Yeah.
These next 3 weeks of camp, it's probably going to be tough for you in a lot of ways because obviously you want to make sure you're the best for the fight, but I'm sure you just can't wait to get in there and fight once again.
Do you know what? Yeah, like I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm looking forward to all that stuff. But like, I love going sparring. I love going fighting. Like, I have a good team around me. I have Derek Ahearn, I have Sean Crowley, organising the correct sparring with me with the correct people at the right times of camp. I love going away sparring in different gyms. I love going meeting new people and having a little dust up on a Wednesday evening. And man, this is a dream for me. I love doing what I'm doing. This, like, I don't see this as work. Like, I'm going training every day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 sessions a day. Tuesday and Thursday, 2 sessions a day, and then teaching boxing in the evening. How does that work? That's a dream come true, and I don't know. I'm very grateful for all the support I've gotten to get me here. I'm very grateful for all the people that helped me buy tickets, my sponsors, and everyone that's helped me along the way. So, yeah, I'm just feeling grateful for everything.
I'm just thinking of Patrice Evra there. I love this game. That's you, son, and you love this game.
I wouldn't be in it if I didn't love it.
You have to love it, but don't you? Because obviously, if you want to, the more you fall in love with it, the more you're going to enjoy it, the more you're going to get to your dreams. Because if you start to hate it, then it's like, this isn't for me, and then you decide to pack it up. So you have to love it.
I remember Phil Sutcliffe Jr. said that to me before. When it turns into a job, can't remember the exact thing he said to me, but basically was the gist of if when it turns into a job, it's not good. Like, and that hasn't happened, mate. This isn't a job. This is still just a hobby that I love doing. So yeah, I'm blessed. I'm absolutely blessed. Like when it comes down to me parents supporting me, helped me through at the earlier stages of my career to the team that was up in the Colosseum. They were always helping me, give me the right advice when I was in all these different fights and helped me give me advice throughout sparring to my girlfriend Kira cooking food for me, telling me you need to go to bed, you need to recover, you need to get up in the morning. Joe like waking me up when I'm nearly fucking sleeping in for sessions. Like all them people at the right times have helped me to get where I am today and even down to Big Mark wrap me hands like it's fucking you can't ask for a better team around me and for better people.
Don't be giving Big Mark credit here now. Come on. He'll only call you names.
He does, boy, love it.
But it's, I guess on a personal level, Senan, it's great to see someone that's put in the hard work, the dedication that you've done. Like when you had that shoulder injury, it could be easy to hang up the gloves and not come again. But they see what you've done the last couple of years. It's good to see you getting a reward for taking domestic fights. You could have easily went, nah, it's not for me, and went different routes. Like you've taken the hardest routes to get where you are, and you're now getting the reward. You're a nice guy in and out of the ring, and you're
Well,
taking the
that's it.
fights.
Like if you do take the easy route the whole way through, I would have got to where I am today, and it could have been a different. Like yourself, like you couldn't have been, you might not have been ready for the fight. So like you have to take the hard fights at the right time at good stages of your career, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've had all the right fights the whole way up, and I think this is the right fight now, and I have the right people around me to win the fight. So, yeah, it's mine. I just need to get in and do a job now.
Definitely. Well, look, obviously, I know it's 9:30 in the evening now. Obviously, the time people are seeing this will probably be 9:30 from 9 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, it's going out, so obviously it's a different time frame. But obviously, your sleep and recovery and things like that's important to you. So, we'll sort of, I guess, end it there because the last thing I want to do is be keeping you up all night and then not being able to sleep the next day and your training obviously gets cut from it. Um,
Firing out in Mullingar tomorrow, so yeah, get to bed early.
but obviously, for anybody that's sort of watching this and sort of still looking at whether I'm going to go to the show, reach out and obviously support Senan, obviously buying the tickets off, and obviously he gets a percentage from that. Obviously, it helps build his fan base up, and you'll not be disappointed in obviously buying your tickets from him and seeing the performance you're going to put on.
Marty, you're a good man. You're a good man. Thanks for all the support and thanks for all the kind words and everything you've done for me over the years, bud.
Not a problem, Senan. Well, look, thanks as always for your time, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you very soon.
100% pass. See you soon.
Here's me. Take care. Thanks. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.